Yesterday, we showed you the devastating impact of AIDS on young people in South Africa. Today, Maria has part 2 of our series, A Lost Generation.
Look around your classroom. Now picture half of your class gone because they've died from AIDS. That's exactly what the future holds for young people in South Africa. According to United Nations figures, half of all South African teenagers will eventually die of AIDS-related illnesses. That's right, half. Today we investigate why the AIDS problem is so out of control and hitting teenagers the hardest.
As I traveled throughout South Africa, I noticed HIV and AIDS prevention ads all over, but it was clear to me that the message was still not getting through. 1 in 5 people in South Africa is infected with HIV. In this lab, I found out just how real that statistic is.
I'm in a lab where they test for HIV, and I'm actually in the refrigerator right now where they're storing the samples, and these are all HIV positives.
1,000 tests are run here every day. At least 100 come back positive.
We have a positive, yes. Yeah.
So they call it reactive?
They call it reactive, that's right, correct.
So that one word, reactive, is going to change someone's life?
That's correct.
And many of those are teenagers. Dr. Mark Ottenweiler is an American working with AIDS patients in South Africa.
What kind of patients are you seeing?
Well, we're seeing younger and younger people. I mean, they got it when they were 14 or 15 years old, and now they're 20 and already have full-blown AIDS, really dying of AIDS.
18-year-old Maletsi is trying to do something about that.
He's part of an organization educating teenagers about HIV. As a young South African, are you afraid of this disease?
Yeah, I can say I am, even though I have information about HIV and AIDS.
What do you think is causing it to spread so fast?
From my knowledge, I can say it's ignorance and this misconception that it cannot happen to me.
But it can, and infection rates are highest in rural areas like this one, where modern technology doesn't exist. They can't even receive mail, let alone get access to information about HIV and AIDS.
In this province in South Africa, 40% of the people are infected with HIV, and the death rate actually exceeds the birth rate.
Why is this disease spreading to so many people so quickly? Well, there are many factors, but as I walked around the townships, one reason was right in my face.
This is an area where there's obviously a lot of poverty. There's no running water here, no electricity, and poverty is a big contributor to the AIDS epidemic here.
Poverty is an issue. Healthcare facilities are not very well developed. They don't get treatment for sexual diseases when they get them. There's very little information about family planning and HIV prevention.
And many blame South Africa's government for doing too little and misinforming its people. South Africa's president, Thabo Mbeki, shocked the world when he questioned whether or not HIV causes AIDS, even though scientists universally agree that there is a link. Dr. Nono Simelela is the government's director of HIV and AIDS.
Just out of curiosity, called the AIDS helpline, and I asked just flat out, does HIV cause AIDS? And she said, yes, but the government won't tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even control what people's responses are. I was happy when the president said, well, you know, I think I might have caused confusion.
But did he say HIV causes AIDS?
I'm not sure if that's what he said, but he never said it doesn't.
If the confusion was there, why wouldn't he clarify and say, HIV causes AIDS, I made a mistake, I'm sorry I caused confusion, this disease...
Why must people prescribe to him? You know, this is what I find so frustrating.
But if the man up top doesn't explain to the people down below, who are they going to listen to? Who are they going to look up to?
If you really look at it seriously, it's got nothing to do with HIV AIDS. It's got a lot to do with people wanting to do down our president.
But critics say the president's point of view is one of the contributing factors to the public's confusion and lack of urgency in dealing with HIV. Remember Maletsi, the AIDS awareness activist?
Have you ever been tested for HIV?
No.
Would you go with us if we took you?
For now, no, I don't think, because I'm still thinking of it, you see, because it's a huge step to take an HIV test.
Dr. Ottenweiler says it's that fear that's killing the young people of South Africa.
Where do you see South Africa 20 years from now as far as this whole epidemic goes?
Well, 20 years from now, millions of people are going to die.
What would you say to the teens that are going to be watching this program all over the United States who think that the problem is so far away?
If we don't do something about it, the social upheaval will affect them in the future as well politically. They'll have to provide aid, they'll have to provide resources, it'll affect them indirectly. This is your problem, it's not my problem. It's a problem of people all over the world.
If you want to help victims of the AIDS epidemic in South Africa, go to channel1.com where you'll find all the information you need on our homepage.
So, Maria, is there hope for young people in South Africa?
Well, the government has implemented HIV and AIDS education in schools, including abstinence, which experts agree is the best prevention. And tomorrow we'll meet with young people who are making a difference in South Africa's fight against HIV and AIDS.